talking to Jabari yesterday, he was kind of taking, I think, a pretty mature approach to sitting late and you being in the game. What have you observed from him about his maturity and just him as a kid and an individual?
You said it, his maturity. Him trying to, better himself, figure out the things he can be better at, and he's being real mature about it. And I'm pretty sure, soon once he figures it out, I have my talks with him as well about what I see that he can be better at, and things to change, for him.
What are some of those things that you talked to him about?
I said I will.
And what are some of those
I just became aware of this about y'all asking him about the late game stuff. So I haven't talked to him about it.
Is there anything you've noticed in his game that you think he could step up and improve on? That could be helpful.
Yeah, but that's a conversation between me and him.
When you have those conversations with young guys, how much pride do you take in kind of being that mentor that helps them along in the league, especially guys like Jabari that are so mature?
I mean, using the word mentor, I don't think it's really a mentor role. I think it's just me wanting him to be better at his craft. I mean, I don't see that being a mentor because I'm not like every day, going to him and telling him, mentoring him on things that he should do right. I think it's just things that I see, and that's just me being in the game for a long time and me wanting him to be, a better player. I think he has the capabilities in his league to be an all-star, play at all-star level. And I think that's just me, seeing things that he can be better at and just telling him.
How important is it for guys like Alfred, because you mentioned Alfred maybe reaching out to Jokic at some point, how important is it for young guys to be receptive to that feedback?
Well, I hope they're very receptive because, you're looking up at guys like an out situation, two-time MVP, Finals MVP, championship, guy who led us to a championship, last year when I was in Denver. As somebody who you want to be like, who has, set the bar, for, his skill set. They have the same skill set, so, why not, reach out and try to, pick his brain. But at the end of the day, you have to be yourself. You have to figure out ways to better yourself. And you can take things away from other guys. You just have to put it towards how it fits for you.
Friday's the second in-season tournament game for you guys. Do you feel like, whether it's the game that you guys had last week or just around the league, do you feel like the in-season tournament kind of like helped the intensity of the regular season than what it would normally be this time of the year?
I'm not going to say it helped. I think it just made guys more aware of, those games that mean something towards a change in the season. I think everybody who plays, they go out there and they play with a certain chip on their shoulder and a certain confidence level and wanting their team to win. I don't think that an in-season tournament changed the guys' will to win. I think it just put more awareness or on certain games to get to a certain point of what's changing, this season.
Jabari mentioned that one of the things he has learned from you so far is attention to detail being incredibly important. That's been kind of a recurring theme with a lot of the young guys this season, learning about that attention to detail component. What are some of the things that go into just attention to detail and the way that you guys have taught them some of the ways that they can improve?
Just knowing personnel, knowing the team that you're playing, knowing plays that they're running, the plays that they love to run, the spots that guys like. It's a lot that goes into it. By this being his second year, I didn't expect him to be, great at knowing a lot of the guys have been playing for a long time. I think for him it's a learning process. He's going to eventually get to a point where he's played guys so many times that you already know going into a game the things that guys like to do. But I think it's the small things that mean the most when going to a game of understanding the things you needed to do to take teams out of their comfort zone.
When you were with the Nets, that team seemed to mesh, adding superstars to one another more quickly, more seamlessly than some of the others have. Is there something, if you agree with that premise, is there something about that group that made that work the way it did?
The Brooklyn team, you mean, right? I think guys just knew their role, point blank. I don't think it was anything special. I think we, like any team, we have the same agenda to win the championship. I think it was a lot easier if you're trying to compare them to the Clippers. I don't know who you're trying to compare
Yes,
it to.
the Clippers, but also some of the others, the Suns. and
Well,
some
I
of the
can't
others.
speak for what's going on in their locker room. I don't know, but I think in that Brooklyn locker room, I think we just came in with a point of emphasis that guys need to sacrifice, and we did. And it was that simple. But if you're trying to compare, it's a different personnel base, different locker room, and they handle this situation the way they handle it. I don't know what they're talking about, but I know in that Brooklyn locker room, we had meetings amongst players that this is what we needed to do. It takes some time. It takes some time to get used to, but you roll with the punches and you do your best to help the team win.
Most of the teams, maybe all of them, since the Heat that have won championships, including the Nuggets last year, kind of were put together more organically with maybe one key addition, like Kawhi or
yes and no.
Drew.
I mean, Miami wasn't no granted thing. That was kind of two guys joining Dwayne Wade, and they made it work. But this is a unique scenario where you got 4 future Hall of Famers teaming up. I don't think you've seen 4 future Hall of Famers team up. So I think it's going to be a little harder. It's going to take a little bit more time until they get it right. You got guys that want to win. They're just trying to figure it out. I don't think neither one of them have played with 4 alphas, future Hall of Famers, ever on the court at the same time. So they're smart players. I think at some point they're going to figure it out. I just hope it's not tomorrow.
I was just thinking the other part of it was the Nuggets last year, but Bucks, the Warriors, the Raptors, all kind of grew together. Maybe added one guy, but is that maybe still a good way to build a champion? Where for a while there, the trend was you got to get superstars and pile them up. Did what you guys did last year?
I mean, at the end of the day, if they win a championship, teams are going to try to copy. That's just how it goes. Everybody is going to, at one point, you never saw a team with more than three superstars. Then a couple teams got 3 superstars, then it was we need 3 superstars. Now, if they win a championship with 4, now it's going to be we need 4. So, I mean, that's the way the league goes. If they figure it out, they figure it out. And if they win, they win. And teams are going to try to copy it. But until then, they're in a position where they have to figure out how to get better, how to, get their team settled and, on the back of the road to win. So that's up to them. That's not my concern. So I really can't speak too deep on, what's going on there.
Thank you.